YouTube family, this is Francie with Finding Joy Through Serving, and I'm going to be answering some questions about getting to know me, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to be answering the questions about getting to know you, and I had to do some videos for work, so I figured I'm just going to do this video at the same time. So let's get started. What is your name and who named you? So my real name is Frances Louise, and I go by Francie, which is Francie. I was named by my biological mother, and her name is also Frances, so she just named me after her. I do write her from time to time, and in one letter she talked to me about my name, and she had wanted to name me Catherine, but somebody told her that wasn't a good name. I don't know, they just gave her some bad advice about it, I guess, because they didn't like the name. So she just named me her name, so that was that. So anyway, more of a story to a name, I guess. All right, number 2, how many siblings do you have? Now this can get a little complicated. It shouldn't be, but it is. So I was adopted, and there were 4 of us that were adopted. So basically, I have 2 brothers. I have one biological brother and then one that is a half brother. We have the same father. And so my biological dad remarried and had a couple more children. So that's how I have a half brother there. So long stories there. And then my one brother, who we had the same mother and father, he committed suicide in 2010. All right, so then I have 4 sisters. 2 of these sisters are from the same biological parents, and like I said, all 4 of us were adopted. And one of those sisters passed away in 2011, and the other one is still alive. And then I have 2 sisters through the adopted family. So my adopted parents had a daughter themselves, and then they adopted another daughter when I was married. So I have a younger sister. She's not so young anymore. She's an adult and has married and so forth. But I didn't really grow up with her. I was already married. And then I have 2 half-sisters. One half-sister is from my biological mother, who I don't know, she might have remarried, I don't know. And then the other half-sister is from my biological dad. So I know of them. I have met them all, and we don't see each other much, obviously, but you know, I do know who they are and have some contact with them. Number 3, were you close to your cousins growing up? I don't know. I would like to think we were close. We didn't see each other a lot because we lived in so many different states, but I always looked forward to them coming to visit, and when we would visit, I enjoyed that time. And I did spend one summer in California with 2 of my cousins, so that was a really neat time. Number 4, do you have or did you have a special bond with your grandparents? Yeah, I'd like to think so. I kind of had 3 sets of grandparents, and so I have my adopted parents and their sets of grandparents, but one of the sets, my adopted mom is actually my aunt, so her dad is my biological dad's father as well, so that was the same grandparent, and he lived in Florida. So it'd be nice. We could go to Florida and we would go to Disney World or Busch Gardens. He lived in Tampa for part of the time, then Panama City. And then the grandparents on my adopted dad's side, my grandpa died when I was 11. So he passed away when I was fairly young. He was diabetic. And so, but my grandma, I think I was pretty close to her. Saw her whenever I could. She lived in Michigan when we lived in Michigan. And then, of course, we went to West Africa for a couple years, but I feel connected to her. The other grandma I have is from my biological mom, and my relationship with her was mostly through letter writing. I think when we were initially adopted, they would come and visit us, and then I don't know what happened with all of that. But I did write her, and she wrote me. So Did you enjoy high school? I did. It was in several places. Probably I did until my senior year. But I went to a private high school for my freshman and sophomore year. It was a small high school, so we knew everybody, a small class. I loved it. And then we moved to West Africa. So I went to school in West Africa at a international school, so lots of nationalities. So that was really neat. And so, let's see, then we came back. And when we came back to Michigan, we moved to northern Michigan, a really pretty place, but it was my senior year. So I was at Charlevoix High School in Charlevoix, Michigan, a beautiful place, but it was my senior year. I was trying to make friends, and I tried to get involved with things, but then by the second semester, I dropped what I didn't need and left early and went and worked at McDonald's. So I don't remember too much about my senior year, but it's all right. It's not like it damaged me too much. I did like college. College was fun. Let's see. Number 6, what are your hobbies? Well, I like to create. I probably craft, crochet, sew, stuff like that. So I guess those are my hobbies. Okay, number 7, what do you do to relieve stress when stressed? I think it's creating, making things, doing things for others definitely helps distract you, and it lifts your spirit. Making things for others, I like to do that. And work outside. I like to work outside. My allergies seem to be getting bad here in Tennessee, so I can't work outside very much. So I always have to clear my throat. That's either allergies or my thyroid problem. I don't know, but it gets annoying. Okay. Number 8, who is the longest friend you've had? I have a few that I consider my friends still today, but probably the longest, I don't know. We met each other, I was adopted when I was 2 or 3, so we've probably known each other over 50 years. We went to church together. I would go to her house a lot. And a few years ago, she had never married, and she's the same age. I'm 53 and she's 53. She had never married, and I'm shaking the desk. She had never married, and she invited me to her wedding, and of course it was in Michigan, but I thought I have to go. So I did go to the wedding, and it's not like we see each other all the time. We don't text each other all the time, but we're good friends, and we'll be there if the other person needs us. So I consider her my longest friendship. All right, number 9, what is your favorite movie? I would have to say Because of Winn-Dixie. So I wanted to pick something up for the next question. Because of Winn-Dixie is one of my favorite movies. Of course, I have several, but I can watch that one over and over. I really like it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a nice movie. Okay, and what is your favorite book? And the favorite book, probably, I like this one. It's called False Victim. It's by Kathy Truitt. And actually, I knew her parents when I lived in Missouri. I knew her mom and dad. And then I've become friends with her like through Facebook and everything. But what's neat about this is a true story. It's something that happened to her when she lived in Virginia, I think. And it's kind of scary, about just people we meet and how they are and how they treat you and stuff and what happened. And she ended up being arrested just because of this neighbor that would make up lies about her. So anyway, and it also became a Lifetime movie. So I want to reread it. That's why I have it out. I had it packed up. Okay, favorite thing to do on a stormy day. That would probably be to create, crochet. So sometimes I'll watch a movie. I don't know. But mostly I don't have the TV on much. If I do have the TV on, I'm watching YouTube channels. So yeah. Favorite thing to do when the weather is perfect. Oh, be outside. Just be outside, doing anything, weed eating, I don't know, just finding things to do in the garage or around the house, anything that needs to be done, I will be outside. I always imagine myself sitting at a campground with a fire, going for walks and hikes, stuff like that. 13. Do you prefer the big city or a small town? I'd have to say a small town. I've lived in both. You know, small towns have their issues, of course, but I like the smallness better. And I guess I kind of go with, you know, like when I go to church, I prefer churches that are smaller, though right now I do go to one that's about 400 people, and that's too big for me. I grew up in a smaller one, and then we did missionary work, so it was really small. So I just prefer the smaller groups. You can get to know each other better. And all right, next question. Number 14. What is the first thing you want to do when this virus is over? Well, go camping. I do have reservations in June, about mid-June, so it hasn't been canceled yet, but we'll see. It's in Kentucky at the Natural Bridge State Park, so I'm hoping to be able to do that. All right, that's the 14 questions, and I don't really have specific people to tag. Anyone that I would tag, I think, has already done this. So what I want to do is, anyone watching this, if you have a YouTube channel and you have not been tagged yet, now you are. So go ahead and answer the questions and let me know if you're going to do it on your channel, so I can go over there and watch it and subscribe to your channel. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully you got to know me a little bit better. Get this book and read it, False Victim. It's a good book by Kathy Truitt. And I forget what the Lifetime movie was called. But anyway, I think the book is more suspenseful than the movie was. But anyway, y'all be blessed and find somebody to serve, and I guarantee you'll find joy.